This week we're heading to the high country, try to get some Florida boys their first bull elk.
There's a lot of hunters this opening day here, public land, Montana. I saw what I thought were 2 elk. There you go, if you got a shot, take it.
Last year I was able to head down to Florida, hunt some gators, hogs, and the coveted Osceola turkey with my buddy JR and his dad Dale. It's time to return the favor, get them up in the Rocky Mountains, chasing those high country bull elk.
Ready?
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, I'm good with the 7mm. I let Dale borrow my Bergara 300 Win Mag. JR brought his 338 Lapua. He was all dialed in, but we had to go to the range and make sure the airlines didn't knock it off.
I've been shooting competition for a long time, especially in the precision rifle realm, so I got this new rifle last year and got it all set up and kind of tailored it to competition, but for this trip also. So been shooting for a long time, and then before I came down I did a lot of work with it and was shooting it out past 1,000 yards and made sure I had all my ballistics set up right and knew where my shots were going to go, what I needed to do. So
the guns are dialed and we're ready to head to the high country. We got up high, storm rolled in, the wind started whipping, and I looked to the Florida boys and said, "Welcome to Montana."
Never hunted elk in my life. Never had the opportunity to. It was just gorgeous, totally different. First time I ever seen snow. First time I hunted in snow, of course. It was just really a good adventure.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Leupold Optics, Slumberjack, and Bergara.
Yeah, the first day of the hunt when we started up for the first hike, it was tough. The downfall timber, the steep incline, the altitude, the thin air, a lot of difference between here and South Florida. So it was tough. It was a tough hunt, but it was enjoyable. It was something I really enjoyed, but it's a lot of work and a lot of effort.
never been up in the mountains, so hiking up in the mountains and the higher elevation and then the slippery slopes up in the snow was definitely tough. So it made the hunt tough. It was fun. It made it more challenging, made it more all rewarding.
It's steep, it's snowy, there's a lot of downfall. You don't want to slip on a log, fall and get hurt, and especially people who aren't used to the terrain. Just make sure you take your time and get everyone there safe. We got to the top, it was absolutely gorgeous.
Being with my son is phenomenal. We've, ever since he was young, we've always done stuff together and hunted together. I've started him really young to be in the outdoors, and he enjoys it. And he's starting to return the favor to Dad now.
And these Florida boys were able to see their first muley buck.
A lot of wildlife I've never seen before. Got to see the bighorn sheep, got to see a bunch of them, got to see some really, really nice mule deer. Got to see grouse, which I've never seen elk before. Got to see some elk.
Let's just put these binos to work and look in every little nook and cranny. There's a lot of burn. These elk should be up moving around right now, heading to bedding areas. But what's going to happen is people will find these herds throughout the day and stuff will get pushed. And we're in a great, great location to see a lot of elk. just a patience game.
And it wasn't long, and we spotted our first bull elk.
Oh, it was awesome. Never seen elk before, especially in the wild. Didn't know how majestic they looked. They were beautiful to see them out in the wild and see them run around, especially there's a couple bulls, how light they were. Even to see them from a mile away, you could tell how just beautiful they were.
They're both legal, so it's nice having two bulls, but they're way too far away right now. We just don't know if there's gonna be hunters after them or what, so we'll just kind of hang tight. Let's keep an eye on them, see what they do, and if they don't come out of that draw, I think we sneak around, and I know a good way to get in there. I just don't know if we can sneak up on them. It just depends. That's pretty thick stuff there. One just bedded. That one to the left looks big.
There's one laying down. He's like a younger bull.
Yep. Oh, I see the other one.
Probably like a 5, maybe. And there's one to the left that's got a lot bigger body. And he's got bigger horns.
If he beds down, boys, we're gonna get the hell out of here and go after him.
You damn right.
Because he's a good bull. That's a good bull, man. He just bedded. They bedded in a really bad spot. It's gonna be hard for a stock, but we know the one that we want's on the left-hand side. We'll have to sneak up and over the top there and try to get a good shot. Wind is gonna be key. Well, we just spotted 2 nice bulls. One looks like a nice little 6. Just gonna go here on Onyx Maps, put a waypoint on exactly where he's at. We gotta do a big drive all the way around. We're not even gonna get to him for 2 hours, but they just bedded down. So we'll have to drive on some road, then we gotta hike over a ridge, and we gotta hike down a ridge without getting busted. And there's a lot of hunters this opening day here, public land, Montana. So hoping nobody's gonna bust him out of there. But we'll put a point on the map and we'll go right to exactly where he's at.
It was opening day in Montana. We knew we had to haul butt around the mountain to get over there before someone beat us there.
We're trying to get down this hill as quick as we can. It's treacherous. We got buried sticks and stuff. We've got 2 bedded bulls over here. It's opening day. There's hunters everywhere, public land, but we got a good waypoint on our Onyx Maps. We got a great plan to sneak up on them. It's gonna be about at least an hour and a half to get over to them before we even start hiking, so we gotta cook it down the mountain, but they should be bedded for about 3 more hours, so we should be in good shape. Just hope no one else gets into them.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Shedhorn Cellars, Bog Pod, and Nanook.
Well, we just got to our spot. These bulls should be bedded down here about 300-400 yards. We're gonna sneak down, see if we can get in. We got kind of a bad wind. We'll see what we get. To work our way down, just be careful. Hopefully we can get JR a good one.
We snuck right on down to right where the bulls were. We popped over the top. Elk were gone.
I bet those bulls were watching their backtrack and got him.
We looked to our left, and wouldn't you know it, that was the culprit. We saw some guys that had already beat us to it. We were back to square one.
Oh, that was awesome for the first stalk. So definitely these mountains are tough going up and down. So it's definitely a newfound respect for the hunting part of it. But it was a lot of fun, so we'll see if we can do it again.
Well, public land, all stalks don't end successfully. Go back to the drawing board.
The stalk was a bust, but on the way back to camp, the Florida boys were able to see their first bighorn sheep. and that made for a great day in the mountains. Native Americans actually used to eat the wild game species that they used to hunt, and for a long time they'd actually not eat until they actually killed animals. So we're not going to not eat, but we're going to definitely eat the animals we're hunting. These guys had never been in the mountains, much less camped in the mountains, and I was able to show them a little Western hospitality with the Western wall tent. Good. All right, boys, dinner's ready, man. A little bacon, peppers, taters, onions, some moose, some elk. Dig in.
Never stayed in a wall tent like that because anytime we camped in Florida, it's never really this cold or snow, so you didn't have to worry about having that much heat and all that kind of good stuff. So it was a lot of fun. Been camping before, but that was definitely really nice. The wall tent was nice and roomy and nice and warm at night, and just felt like being in a hotel room instead of out in the middle of the woods. So.
Dinner time at camp, always good time for a bitter beer. Good beer, good friends, good times, good meat. Now just to find a good bull elk. Let's make it happen.
It's been a pretty long day. We had rain and wind this morning. Then the fog came in. We got up here and just couldn't see much. The fog was rolling in and out, able to get little views here and there, but never did see anything. It's supposed to clear tonight and give us a good day the next couple days. Then we're gonna call it an evening and work our way back and see if we can find some good bulls tomorrow.
We were able to see some more bighorn sheep. Storm rolled in and it was a bust for the day, so we had to haul butt down the mountain and get out of that storm.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Buffalo Bore Ammunition, strictly business, and Montana Department of Agriculture reminds you to educate yourself on the harmful effects of noxious weeds.
Dalmatian toadflax is native to the Mediterranean region of Europe and is currently found in 34 states in the US and Canada. It has significantly reduced livestock production in pastures and rangeland. Dalmatian toadflax has been cultivated as an ornamental for use in fabric dye and for medicinal purposes, but has absolutely no food value and crowds out valuable forage for animals. This plant has a poisonous glucoside and can be harmful to livestock. This noxious weed is a perennial with extensive roots that can grow 3 feet tall and spreads by seeds and lateral roots. It is mostly a narrow and upright plant with multiple waxy stems and leaves growing from a single woody base. The snapdragon type flowers are bright yellow tinted with orange. Mature plants can produce up to 500,000 seeds and they remain viable in the soil for up to 10 years. Controlling this weed by hand pulling is difficult in established patches because any remaining root fragments will resprout. Clip, bag, and dispose of the flowers will help minimize seed spread. Chemical treatment can be difficult as well. The proper integrated management will need to include the right timing, products, and persistence, along with biocontrol, hand pulling, mowing, and revegetation. The most important thing about noxious weeds is to educate yourself, to protect the landscape for wildlife and future generations. If you think you have noxious weeds, contact your local weed district, extension office, or Department of Agriculture.
We got a great plan for today. We're gonna head out on this ridge. We should be able to see all the way around us. Really quiet in the woods, no other tracks up here for trucks. So we got a little bit of a hike in here, but we should have some great views. Hopefully today's gonna break and the elk should be moving. We'll wiggle out here and get a good glassing point and see if we can find some elk.
We woke up to a gorgeous day. We got up to where we wanted to hunt. There were no other hunters around us. We started down this ridge. We had lots of cover. We could see a lot of views. And a big tip is take your time, take a few steps and glass around. Each step reveals new real estate, and just use your binos. Glass, glass, glass.
I saw what I thought were 2 elk, and that's it. With this timber like this, you take 1 step. With every step, you gain all kinds of new real estate because there's so many different trees. There he is. His whole body's behind the tree. You guys, there's at least 1 bull over there. I think there's 2. He's bedded. I'm guessing 450-yard shot or so. But let's just take a look. Let's get over there and see if we can sneak down closer. But there's at least 1 good bull. I think he's a 3-year-old.
We glassed a bull. We couldn't tell how many elk were around him, but we knew it was going to be a tricky stalk.
They're just laying down. Yeah. Yeah, they're down. They're that low. So they're within range now. But I just want to get as close as we can without spooking them.
We had some small windows on this bull, but they weren't very good, so we had to drop down this mountain to try to get as close as we could. It was still going to be a long shot, but I knew JR could get it done.
Yeah, those mountains add a whole nother element to it. Instead of just being focused on breathing and getting a good shot, you're just trying to worry about getting in position and not sliding too much. And it was really steep, so we had to be careful and easy going down, and had to worry about that and worry about the elk. So there was a lot going on at one time, but was able to slide down and get in a good position. And
being flatlanders, I'm pretty sure these boys thought they were going to fall off the mountain. It was really steep heading down, but these guys worked their way down nicely, and wouldn't you know it, before long, we were in position.
Come on, JR. All right, bud. Take your time. Make sure you're rock solid, bud. Hey, just make sure you feel comfortable because we got all the time in the world, okay?
Let me range them again for you, make sure you're all dialed right on. 505.
pretty much trying to get my breath control. We were all, excited, so your heart rate's up, and then trying to come down that mountain is a heck of an exercise. So you're already breathing hard, so I was just really focusing on breathing and getting my heart rate calmed down and not missing.
Good hit again.
Hold on. He steps out and he gives you a good shot.
Just give him a second. Make sure you got a good second shot. Make sure there's no elk behind it. Those elk aren't spooked, so just give him a second. There you go. If you got a shot, take it.
Okay. There we go.
Okay? Smoked him. He's hurting hard.
His head's down, man. We're gonna keep an eye on him, but his head's down. JR, dude. Nice, dude. You got your first bull elk, man. Whew.
That's unreal.
That is crazy, man.
Crazy.
That is awesome.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by these fine sponsors. And Bitterroot Brewing. After the hunt, enjoy Montana's best brew.
Didn't really understand how awesome it was until I got here and actually see one in person, and the size of them and just how beautiful they are and how hard they are to get to, and you really gotta work to get to them. So all that just made it that much more rewarding.
Well, after JR got his bull, he realized he'd messed his hip when he was sliding down the hill. So he's having a hard time getting him out of here. He's using the bog pod to help get out of here. And I got his pack and his rifle, and we're working our way out. We still got about a half mile to get out of here. Then we got to work around and go down a different ridge to go get him. So Not quite sure if you're gonna be able to make it down to do a good recovery with your bull, but we'll get him up for you at least. And
It was worth it.
I hope. Congratulations, man.
Bull. Yeah.
But I hope we can get you out of here and see how your hip's doing and
Yeah.
get back to the truck. I think about a half mile hike or so. Let's kind of work our way through here.
Watching Jared shoot his first bull out was phenomenal. It's anything we do together, you know, is always great. But anytime you can take a hunting trip with your son or your family, but we've always had a special deal that we've done a lot of hunting together, and to get to see him shoot his first bull out was phenomenal. A proud dad moment.
We had an easier access point, so we drove the truck around the mountain to get to a better spot to drop on in. And
Adam's a great guy. He's provided us an experience that me and JR will, you know, talk about for the rest of our life and carry home and tell stories about. And that's what it's all about. That's what I've taught him since he was young. Is the camaraderie is as important as the hunting trip.
you know, steep hills, mountains, snow, sticks, just it comes down to a safety issue, and it's really important that we know what we're doing and make sure we don't get ourselves in bad situations, because bad things can happen. So it's unfortunate we're not able to have JR here to take a picture with his bull, but he's excited. He wants to bring the cape out and everything, so we're gonna get him caped out, get him quartered up, and get as much meat out of here tonight as we can and come back tomorrow for the last load. We got just a couple hours before dark, so we better get a rush on him. A beautiful bull, absolutely beautiful. JR really wanted to go down there to help get his elk out, but in the mountains like this, we can't take any chances. He was already hurt, so I decided, grabbing producer Andy, dragging him down the mountain, and he could help me pack the elk out. Love getting the producer out to get in the field. This is amazing.
You got this, bud. One step at a time. Good job, Andy.
There's nothing that gets you prepared for getting an elk out of some of these deep holes here. We're up here in Montana hunting. Just killed a bull down below us, and as you can see, there's downfall everywhere. There's just not a whole lot you can do to prepare and get practiced up to get these packs out. This pack here is probably well over 100 pounds packed yesterday. I probably think we were pushing 150 with it. Had to get the head and the cape out. And so we still got a big push uphill to get out of here. Get this one on and get up the mountain. Well, the best part about getting the last pack to camp is knowing that you got good meat for the winter. It's a lot of work, but sure is rewarding all winter long when you're eating good food. Took 2 long trips, but we were able to get that bull out, and JR was ecstatic with his first bull.
But he's a stud, man. What a beautiful, looks like a nice 3-year-old. He's got real nice brow tines on him. He's got some real good mass. I mean, he's got some good mass up top here. I mean, beautiful bull, getting his 6s starting. So, heck yeah, he'll be a beautiful, beautiful mount. And that's awesome. We got him all caped out, and we got him up here for you, and get him out, and hopefully we'll get that hip healed so you can get back and start getting back to hunting when you get back home.
Yeah, you back to normal.
But he's a stud. Let's go catch up with Dustin with Natural Canvas Taxidermies and see what he can do for you guys. We're gonna go catch up with him right now. Actually, we're heading down. He's gonna meet us at the shop.
Perfect.
So we'll get him taken care of, make sure that cape gets taken care of, gets fleshed, salted, taken care of properly so that hair doesn't start slipping, and we'll get to butchering.
Awesome.
It's time, man. Heck yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Beautiful bull. Beautiful bull.